Championship is the hardest league in the world. I think the Championship is the hardest league in the world that I've ever seen.
I would agree.
Maybe stats and figures may defend other leagues or whatever. But from what I've seen in terms of clubs,
from top to bottom, it's so competitive.
Anyone can get relegated. Anyone can get promoted.
Quickly, Darren Moore. He's been sacked as West Brom manager. I don't follow the Championship in that way, but if you watch, you go on Twitter, check out Adrian Durham's. He had a bit, not a rant, but a long speech on the whole Darren Moore West Brom situation. And I agree with a lot of it. They didn't want Darren Moore in the first place. When he was nearly saving them from relegation, there was obviously calls from the fans and outside influences that he has to get the job, And they stalled until it was like the pressure told and they had to give it to him. Started the season well. I don't follow the results game by game, but they're fourth in the Championship. Yes, their target was automatic promotion, but it's a 24-team league, and as we know, the Championship is a tough league. Only 2 can go up automatically, and then you have the playoffs. It's a dogfight down there. What Bielsa's doing with Leeds ain't no joke. Who's top of the Championship?
Leeds and Norwich. Leeds and Norwich.
I think Leeds are second in the Championship. Frank Lampard with Derby, he's up there. Who's the other teams up? Who went down? Stoke went down.
Yeah. So Norwich are top, Leeds are second, 2 points off. Sheffield United.
Sheffield's in third. West Brom. So West Brom, in terms of the playoffs, they are 6 points, 7 points clear in the playoff positions ahead of Bristol in seventh. So a playoff position you think is they're going to get one.
How many games left?
There's like 6, because 42, no, 46, isn't it?
Yeah,
about 10 games left.
Yeah.
You think they'll get it. But do they really think they can still get top 2 from here?
Well, I mean, the thing is, even if you look at Stoke and Swansea, right? 15th and 16th in the table.
It's not easy.
For me, and this is a big call, but Championship is the hardest league in the world. I think the Championship is the hardest league in the world that I've ever seen.
I would agree.
Maybe stats and figures may defend other leagues or whatever. But from what I've seen in terms of clubs,
from top to bottom, it's so competitive.
Anyone can get relegated. Anyone can get promoted. Depends on how you start the season. And even then,
so
half of the season,
you can, and it's
still be in a relegation fight. That's how mad it is.
Yeah.
So, and as you said, West Brom's aim couldn't have just been top spot or top 2. Like, you would have had to have some sort of leeway for the manager to say, listen, I want you to get us back to the Premier League. In fact, that should be it.
Yeah.
Get us back in the Premier League.
Course.
If they're in 4th place, if they even if they finish in 4th and get to the playoffs, beat Derby, whatever, get into the final, win in the last minute, Darren Moore's done his job. Achievement done, you're back in the Premier League. Like, maybe the risk is that they don't think he can
get them
through the playoffs and win it.
Okay.
But I mean, you've given him this far, 36 games played, you got him to 4th. They've beaten Leeds 4-1, smacked up Leeds. They put 7 past QPR earlier on in the season. Okay, they're having a bit of dip of form, but everyone goes for a dip of form in the season. You can't just sack a man for a dip of form. Like, for me, Saturday ain't getting right in the
Well, the thing is, a lot of the times, these pundits, the British pundits, they talk about, like if a manager gets sacked, and they would say, and automatically the board go for a foreign coach, and the argument would be, they'll be like, they don't give British coaches a chance. They always think the foreign managers can do it, etc., etc. Well, maybe it's the same case as Adrian Durham put it, that those same people who think, foreign coach can do a better job than British coach because we've seen it before, they feel that a white manager can do a better job than a black manager because we've seen it before. There's no precedence of a black manager, or as much precedence, you might say, of a black manager doing this. Chris Hughton done it with Norwich and with Brighton. But other than that, I can't really think of any other black manager black British manager anyway who's taken a team from the Championship into the Premier League. But we've seen white managers time and time again get relegated for the Premier League. It doesn't stop them from being hired. Some of those same managers who have been relegated still getting jobs and keeping jobs. He talks about Tony Pulis, talks about Pardew. There's another, what's the other one? Mark Hughes. Obviously he's gone now, but my old getting teams relegated, hanging just above the relegation zone, and getting job after job after job. Darren Moore, man, sitting in 4th in the playoff position, and gets hooked. Now, I don't know whether it's a racist decision, but it could be a subconscious or racial bias regarding it. Could be a subconscious British bias against it. Because let's see what the manager they replace. Let's talk about who they're going to bring in.
Jokanovic is the Fulham who got Fulham up from Championship last year through the playoffs.
And then got sacked from in the Premier League.
In the Premier League, yeah.
But they're going to go back. Obviously, yes, he's got them up. But because he's got Fulham up, it don't mean he's going to get West Brom up.
Yeah.
Man's taking them to a position where they can still go up, and you're going to get rid of him. I can't work it out. I can't work it out. And we talk about, oh yeah, not enough black managers, not black managers. The black manager gets a chance now. Like Chris Hughton did when he was at Newcastle?
He was a coach at Newcastle, and he was.
And then he got hooked early.
Yeah.
And then look what he's doing. But look what he's doing at Brighton now. When he gets given a chance to let the man grow and the team grow in his mould, look what he's doing. Yeah,
and the thing is, like, he's a legend at the club. Do you know what I mean? Like, he loves the club.
But that's why there was so much big calls for him to get the job in the first place.
Exactly.
Because it's like, Solskjaer, for example, you can't not. But then come next season, if he's not top of the table, but he's sitting in 2nd or 3rd, we're just gonna sack him. I don't know. For me, it's poor.
It is.
It's poor.
But you know what? I mean, at least Darren Moore can have a look at his managerial appointment and say, "Listen, I've got a good CV now."
Yeah.
So, and all we can hope is that now, with this sort of renewal in place now, like, he can go into an interview with a decent CV to say, "Listen, I was sacked harshly. I've had a good year in management, my first management job, and this could be a stepping stone to say, he deserves a job elsewhere, and soonish, really, because if we go on 2-3 years, people will start, his name will just fall off the radar. He won't be given a job." But also, what he said on that interview was like, he said Pulis and Pardew were given a certain amount of time at West Brom, failing week after week. How many poor performances have we seen from West Brom in the past few years before Moore came in, where you knew, like, it was just poor football. Like,
people were calling for those managers to be sacked for time before they actually got sacked.
Weeks on end. Now all of a sudden, I think his home form has been poor the past sort of 9 weeks or so. So the fans are starting to get a bit edgy at home. But it happens, isn't it? Like anyone who doesn't win at home is going to get edgy. It's not like they go in at him as a manager. It's that they want their team to win. Everyone goes into the game wanting your team to win. And if you look at it in the long term, in the grand scheme of things, they're 4th in the table and have a good chance of getting promoted to the Premier League. And he's been hooked on his job.
It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. As Darren said, it's one of the worst sackings I've seen. Like, it was I was so surprised. Yeah. It was so surprising. I think most people when they saw it was like, what the hell's going on there? Thinking something fishy going on behind the scenes.
47.9% win percentage, 123, lost 12, drawn 13. It's not a bad record in there.
I think it's better than all. I know some of them were in the Premier League, but it's better than like the last, 4 or 5 West Brom managers.
Yeah.
Shocking.
And then I think in Championship is 50%, so he's literally half his wins have been in the Championship. So can't work it out.